Welcome to the Blockchain Ireland Summit 2025 on-site podcast brought to you by Provenance. My name is Sebastian Grube and I am the co-chair of the Events and Communications Working Group at Blockchain Ireland. Our guest is Dirk Hermans, who is the Innovation and Blockchain Lead at KBC Bank Insurance. Dirk, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Great, pleasure to have you here. What brought you to Blockchain Ireland Summit this year and why now?
I was here also 3 years ago with the Hyperledger forum that was here. And this year also got the invitation to be on a speakers panel, but I thought it was a good moment to revisit. As the blockchain space here is quite established with a good organization bringing all the parties together. So it's good to have an update on what's going on. I think Ireland is also, on innovation-wise, probably more advanced than Belgium. But in terms of size, I think we're kind of similar as a country.
Amazing. So when you're saying innovation-wise a little bit more advanced, where do you see that? How is that expressed in the Irish ecosystem?
I think probably collaboration with also the national bank. And I think because of the fabric that you have between the startups and the links that you have with university or regulators, that you bring them together and that makes that you get this collaboration spirit, which make it more advanced.
Amazing to hear. Yeah, pleasure to hear that. For today, what's one topic or one person that has stood out to you so far in the conference?
This morning, Johnson CEO from Monerium.
Jan Ingelsson.
Yeah, Jan Ingelsson. That was quite interesting because he also has a background of central bank in Iceland. He lived through the financial crisis of 2008. That's when I started working at a bank. And it's great to see how he looks at it and how he looks at, okay, what can blockchain bring for Europe, and also whereas Europe, well, we should be more proud of ourselves and put ourselves more on the map. You also see it in terms of developer community. You see that a lot of development on protocols are being done in Europe. So, and also maybe on regulatory level, we have MiCAR, but on sovereignty level, we want to launch a digital euro. But maybe we should be more straightforward, and also like the US is doing now. We have a strong euro. Let's make it global as a strong currency. So I liked his view on that. So that was inspiring.
Nice. I'm happy to hear that. You're working for quite a large institution, KBC Bank Insurance, in innovation and blockchain. How are you bridging those two paradigms in a way? What's your work there?
Education. I'm in the space since 2016. I actually gave my first presentation September 2015, so almost 10 years. And yeah, we did quite some proof of concepts, I think 16 or so. We were in different consortia. We launched a product, WeTrade, which went bankrupt. We were too soon, I think. We're also in Finality, which is a worldwide initiative with a lot of international banks. We also launched our own Katecoin back in 2022, which is private blockchain, but we know you see what the potential is of the technology only because of regulation, because of the decentralization aspect. It probably takes more time, certainly for incumbents like us. So main part is seeing what is going on in the world. How can we apply that into banking? What's an opportunity for us? What might be a risk for us? And how do we plan and navigate towards it? When do we decide to set a step forward to go into production with something and to see what the timing is there and what customers really are looking for? Yep.
And speaking of setting steps forward, what are the goals and the plans for this year, for 2025?
Today we're on private blockchain for 3 years now. So next step would be, okay, should we evolve to public blockchain? Because the infrastructure is there. You see it's been taken up. US dollar stable coins are moving because they also passed their bill. We have MiCAR in Europe. So to look at, okay, what should we do there? What role can we play as a bank? We still have the trust factor. Do we want our customers to have a wallet on MetaMask, or can we play a role there? If you look at US dollar stable coins, might be interesting for corporates, for instance, who have US dollar payment flow. Should we offer them a wallet, yes or no, for stablecoin payments? So that will be investigation phase in the rest of the year, not implementing. We probably will take some more time for that.
So lots of curiosity this year, essentially.
Yes.
Amazing. What do you think, where is the real world application for blockchain technology at this stage, and what is still hype?
What we see emerging, you had a long period of crypto being next to traditional finance, decentralized finance, and then traditional finance. It's like water and fire. But you see they're coming together. Like they're not married yet, but they start to sniffle around. They're maybe engaged now, and you see also with the real world assets are being tokenized, like money market funds. I think that traditional finance has discovered that the potential of blockchain. Blockchain will not go away. It can make things much more efficient. Not from decentralization is not a goal per se, but the technology can really make things more efficient. And that you see it's getting traction. So that is good. You see also the stablecoin usage is increasing. You have parties like Stripe stepping in, the Visa, MasterCard. They see their business also in danger, so they start offering these on-off ramps and the wallets. So that's emerging. The more difficult part, and there were also interesting talks in the morning by Ave, and being really decentralized, be your own bank. Yes, possibly, but for how many percentage of the people? If you look at our customer base, probably 90% will not go and be their own bank and to manage a wallet. So there we can have a role to play. So that's something to see, okay, how are these crypto concepts? It's really decentralized, really the incentivation, have your own data, how that materializes, that's still to be seen. I think that's maybe probably a next wave that will have to come. But first, if we have people having a wallet, having engaged on technology basis, I think that's a good first step.
Yeah, and it's been a theme throughout today. It's the tokenization of your assets, bringing together that traditional finance and DeFi space. It's been a nice transition to see, especially from conversations last year, I think. Have you seen that shift across the year?
Yeah, that's clear. It was last year. It was still more like Bitcoin as an investment asset, and crypto as an investment asset, and stablecoins started to emerge, and also real world asset tokenization. You read it in the papers of Boston Consulting Group and PwC. So they predicted like 16 trillion market in 2030, and yeah, probably they're right. So it's happening now. So, but that's, I think last year it was more talking about it, and now you see the real life implementation. And that's also something that you see now. If there's now an announcement, then it's live. It can be used. And when we go 3, 5, 10 years back, it was certainly TradFi, proof of concepts, and not really live applications. That shifted also.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, which is great. So looking ahead to next year then, if we're sitting here again next year, hopefully you join us, what would you hope has changed at that stage?
What I'm curious about is the number of licenses that have been given by the national competent authorities on MiCAR, because that's still the gap that has to be taken. A lot of startups, but if you want to put a coin in your app, you need some kind of licenses. So are they ready for that? Are they organized to do that, to do the regulatory reporting and follow-up that they have to do? Because that's something that I see we as a bank, we certainly have a lot of people working on that. So I want to see, like, okay, how is it really enabling these startups to move forward and not being a regulation as too heavy for them to move into the space. So I hope next year that we have quite some companies that are active in the space, and that there are more overall users of anything that is a blockchain related application.
Amazing. We'll see you next year. We'll look at the data then. Thank you so much, Dirk, for joining us. Thank you for watching. Pleasure having you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Sebastian.